Okay, this is a new old watch that I picked up. It's Tokyoflash Kisai, Kisai Rogue, and this one I used to own in all black, where you see the shiny silver chrome right now, but the LED is still green, and I did miss that. Although I swear mine seemed a little bit smaller, and this one seems heavier than I remember my old one being. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was like that. But it's good. It doesn't feel light and cheap like some of their watches can in the past. This actually feels pretty substantial, more than I remember it being. Anyways, I always enjoyed, and I thought this was actually one of the best LED screens. The new ones are not as... they're a bit complicated. They're a little bit harder to read. This is more straightforward. The other new ones, the Rogue Touch, has a touch screen, and the case is different. I don't think it's as handsome as this. I like how it has this bezel here with the numbers. Anyways, it is a bit shiny, and you can see a fingerprint magnet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use a Scotch-Brite 3M whatever pad to brush it, and I hope to make it look like, I don't know if you can see in here, the inside is actually brushed, so I don't think it would be an issue for me to do it too. You can see here, let's see if I can put the stable here, see how it's brushed? That would look a lot better than this shiny crap on the outside. It's just a little too blingy, shiny. It would look better if I toned it down with the brush. So hopefully, I'll just be careful and just go along the grain length of this to go do a vertical brush on the bracelet. And I don't know, it's pretty tight in here. I'd like to get a strap option as well. Remove these spring bars, maybe put in a leather strap or something. I could actually go with a silicone too, possibly even a NATO if I can get one thin enough to slip in between here, because it can be, it looks like it can be pretty tight in there. We'll see how that works out. The only problem also, actually, I didn't mention it, but there is some particles underneath the crystal here, and I'm gonna have to probably pop this sucker open, and I think this whole thing comes out, and at least try to remove these particles in here, because that's not cool. I should be able to. I mean, I've opened these before. I think the unit will just drop out. Hopefully it'll go back in, and the display will work and everything, because these units can be kind of tricky to put back together. And yeah, I swear mine used to be thinner too. It's not a big deal, but it feels weightier, slightly more solid, and actually dimensionally seems a little bit larger, like case size, as well as the thickness. Anyways, so my project, I'm going to see if I can crack this open, at least clean this guy out, and apply a brush to the outer surface. The sides don't need to, they can be left chrome, shiny like that. That's not a big deal. The only question now is, how do I address going here? I mean, I could just leave it, but it would probably not be as good. Ideally, I should get the whole thing brushed all the way up, but then I'm not going to be able to get, I can only get so close to the case, you know? And I don't think this bezel comes off, at least not very easily if it does. I don't know. I don't want to mess with the bezel really. It takes trying to remove that. So at best, maybe if I masked off like this line right here, and off to the side, and down here. And left the sides and where it bevels over, high polish, and the top surface of that. And just continue the brush down here. That should be good enough. And we'll see how things go. I really would like to brush the bezel as well. Tone that down into a matte satin, brushed finish like this. And the only thing chrome would be the sides and this top surface. And that would be it, really. I'll see how it goes first with this. Does it look right going into a high polished case straight like that? It looks like it should be at least brushed to up to that point to match. And also reduce the fingerprints and the slight scratch that's actually up here. See that? And over here there's a slight one. I mean, I don't expect it to keep this perfect, but at least brush it, help keep it look nicer without the fingerprints, and also it just looks better brushed if I can do it mostly. I'll have to mask off this part, brush that, leave it shiny, and then mask off all the way around and the crystal, and then brush radially, at least around the edge here. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully I won't fuck up the watch. Alright.